Hi, Aries. How you doing? I'm on vacation right now. I'm sort of thinking about that and putting myself in that energy, so I'm not really here. Although even though you see me, that is the magic of pre-recorded video and pre-upload to YouTube and scheduling a release date. I feel like I'm crooked. There you go. Sorry. It's like I was like this. And that would be kind of annoying to look at me for a few minutes like that, wouldn't it? Okay, so this is the deal, Aries. This is the deal. Because I'm on vacation, well, I'm up north again. I'm hopefully on a river. Maybe I'm at the beach. Maybe I'm swimming or fishing. Maybe I am in the canoe following another bald eagle down the river. I don't know. We won't know till I come back. But I wanted to pre-record a bunch of videos, and I've spread it out over a couple of weeks, just doing one once in a while, because it was too much the last time I did that and I went away. And I just doubled up everything in 1 week before I left. And I was sick actually for the first part of my vacation because I was just burnt. So I had no idea that readings could take this much out of you actually. I worked, when I came out of college, first company I worked for, I was like a real go-getter. I want to show them I'm really, and you know, I was also a woman in a man's industry, so I was ready to like show the world what I was made of, baby. I did a 22-hour shift. I slept in the company vehicle for 2 hours before I started again. And that was not as tiring as this can be when you do so many readings. It's incredible. Wow. So anyways, as I continue to babble. So this is like a little vacay reading. I wanted to give you something while I'm away this week. And we're playing with the Zodiac. So we're playing with the Zodiac. I've done this with Aquarius and Pisces already. I'm going to open it up a little bit more, though, than I did with them. I think I'm just getting the message. Open it up a little bit more. Don't put so much constraint on it. And so it's for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This is for, I think is it like the 3rd week of August? You're going to be getting this on August the 12th, according to my notes here to keep track when this is released. So you're going to get this August the 12th. So for the next week or so, it's just a message from Spirit, man. Like whenever you get this, don't put constraints on it. So what I've got here is I've got my Zodiac Oracle deck. And then I've just got like a regular tarot deck. It's a bit of a short sweep. Well, we'll see where it goes. The other ones weren't too long. The other two that I've done weren't too long. So I'm just going to shuffle it, see what happens. Sometimes it's hard to get a pull out of this because the deck is so small. And then that's what always happens. It's like either I can't get anything or literally half of it comes out. Oh my gosh. And half is too much. Well, it's 6 cards, right? What's 12 divided by 2? I don't know. It's 6. Pretty sure it's 6. Okay. See what comes out. Yeah, speaking of that, I've been helping my son with grade 3 math, and then I got a grade 4 math workbook, and I'm like, oh God, I know pretty soon I'm not going to help him with this. I'm going to need a tutor. Yeah, I don't know. I would just rather draw and play. I was always a daydreamer in school, if you can't tell. But you know what? I'm here to say that there's no reason you can't succeed being a daydreamer. There's absolutely no reason you can't succeed. I think I'm living a pretty good life. I have it pretty good. I'm following my heart and my soul, baby. Follow your heart and your soul. Oh, for the love of God. All right, all right, all right. All these cards coming out. And you know, we have to pull this up because it was on the bottom when I showed you the type of deck it was. And I recognize because it's that bright pink, that Scorpio card. Cancer, Cancerians, Taurus, Toro, Taurus, Taurus. Now I know why I was told to open this up in Capricorn. What I did with Aquarius and Pisces is, so maybe this was just the message for them and it's changing as I go through the Zodiac, whatever I'm feeling like I'm supposed to be doing with this. The message for them was what energy you need to take on. Who should you sort of be acting like in a sense? Or what part of you do you need to, you know, work on or bring out to help you grow a little bit more? And like they only got like 1 or 2 cards. And it was interesting because it was sort of like aspects of themselves that they needed to develop. But this is funny. I'm getting a different message here. Like some of you are dealing with a Scorpio. Some of you are dealing with a Cancerian. Some are dealing with Mr. Toro. And some are dealing with the devil, Capricorn. Not really the devil. I like Capricorn. That's a really good energy. Sexy, man. Devil's always about that. Anyways, it's just... Anyway, I'm not, okay. So, yeah, my mouth can get me into trouble. I've learned over the years when it's time to just, I did not always do that. And it's funny. This is really funny because I spend a lot of time at my son's school because you know what? I love working with kids and being with them. Their energy is so damn genuine compared to half of the adults on the planet. So I do love working with them, and you feel like it's the one thing. I described it to another parent in the neighborhood. It was kind of surprised that I go there somewhere. I go every day. And it's like to help with lunch monitoring or other things that they might need. And she was like, wow, you go a lot. And I said, you know, I do. And I'll tell you why. And this is the God honest truth. There are very few things that you can do in your day-to-day life where you feel like you've made a difference in someone's life. There really are very few when you're adulting, like you're just overwhelmed with trying to pay the bills, trying to get to work on time, trying to get a lunch meeting in, and like just so many, do the laundry and this, and that does make a difference in people's lives. But I guess maybe it's probably selfish because it's the reward that I get immediately where, you know, especially with the kindergartens, and somebody falls down and they just need someone to hug. And you were there for them to hug and you made them feel better. Or there's been a few times I've had some kids who've come up to me and told me, you know, so-and-so said this about me, I feel really bad, or I don't mean it. And you know, and I'll give them a message like, do you know your truth? Do you know your truth? Do you know if that's true or not, what they said? But it's not true. Okay. You know your truth. Can anybody change that? Can anyone change the truth that you know about yourself? Well, no. I see, kids are so easy to grasp these ideas too. It's so easy. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, I feel like I just helped some kid with their confidence, or if they could go through life and just remember that. I know my truth and you can't change that. You just feel like you've made a difference in someone's life. I have no idea where I'm going with this. Why am I talking about this? I don't know. Oh yeah, so I used to go to the school. So I think it's funny because I hated school when I was a kid, man. I was always at the principal's office. They knew me well down there, very well. I was always on the bench. And back then the bench was on the outside of the office. Everybody would walk by oh, Cindy, you're down here again. What did you do now? Like, you know, just give me a break, man. Just give me a break. Somebody believe in me. Somebody believe in me. And, yeah. There was a principal that did. He was amazing. Mr. Wayne Hulley. I'm going to say his name because the world deserves to hear it. He was amazing. He uplifted every child he came into contact with. And he did something amazing for me that changed how the whole school looked at me. I was so impressed with him. And he is a god. He's passed away now. It's a really sad story. Really sad story. There's some serious synchronicities. I won't go in. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I feel like I'm just like letting everything out for you guys right now. It's almost like a therapy session for me. Thank you for allowing me to do this right now. So some cards have come out. Finally. We have the Knight of Cups has come out. I'm going to attach these to the Zodiacs that are here. Someone's telling me attach them to the Zodiacs. So we have Cancer and Scorpio that are water signs here. Cancer and Scorpio water sign energy. Knight of Cups. So, getting the message. The message. What, isn't that funny? And then I got Pentacles. 2 cards came out and the other 2 cards are Earth energy. Pentacle. Oh, Spirit knew what it wanted me to do. Okay, so we have an offer of love, and it feels like it's coming from these water signs for you. Okay, keep that there. Okay, those are for you dealing with the Scorpio or Cancer or water sign energy. And now we have Capricorn and Taurus energy, and they're both earth signs. Isn't that funny? I didn't really realize that at first when I was looking at those until sort of clarifiers in a sense came out. And now we have this, it is the 5, right? The 5 of Pentacles that's come out. And this is about feeling some sort of loss. So some sort of loss, and it's a pretty big loss associated with a Taurus or Capricorn energy for you. Let's keep shuffling and see where these 2 stories go. It's 2 stories. I like what Spirit's doing with this. Much better than... Okay. So what can Spirit... let's focus on the water one first. What's going on with the water? What do the Aries that have come to this reading need to know beyond my life story about this water sign with this offer of love? This water sign with this offer of love. This water sign with this offer of love. What do the people who've come to this reading need to know about this water sign with this offer of love? Are you not going to tell me anything? You know what? No, it's not how I want to do it. Just getting the message. Nothing is going to come out because that's not how we're doing it. Just shuffle the deck and ramble. And then you'll see where to put the cards. Okay, I can do that. So, back to Mr. Hulley. So Mr. Hulley, and that's how I'll always know. I won't really know him as Wayne Hulley because I was just a kid. So he'll always be Mr. Hulley. So he did a time capsule with our school. And it was supposed to be, gosh, when did we, like 1983 or something? We buried it, 81, 82, 83. And why is nothing coming out? Come on, I'm rambling. Nothing's coming out. Oh, thank you. See, I'm frustrated. Keep talking. It's like that Page of Swords. Keep it up. Keep talking. Okay, I'm going to keep talking. This is the weirdest reading I've ever done, but it's a vacation reading, so who knows where it's going. So the time capsule 1983, something like that. It was supposed to be unearthed in the year 2000. Never happened. Never happened. Never heard anything about it, and that was it. Looked into it a little bit with some friends from the past back then. No, we don't know what happened. Don't know where Mr. Hulley is. Don't know what's going on. When was it? It was almost 5 years ago. No, so it'd be 6 because I wasn't living where I am now. I was living in another house, and this is just a crazy story. I don't know why I'm telling this. Somebody needs to hear this story. So I just got it in my head, and it was weird. It just came to me, and I really feel like he connected with me somehow. I didn't know at the time that this happened that he was actually already passed away. Had no idea. And it was not that, from the time I started thinking about this time capsule again, like 15 years after it should have been uplifted, it just came to me all of a sudden. We need to do this. We need to get it up. I need to do this. So I created a Facebook page. I started connecting with people, and for something like 3 months, I was putting it out there, trying to find people who I'd lost contact with, share this page with them, and I got like no responses. And then just magic, I guess it was going into that junk or something in the spam. And then all of a sudden, Wendy, I don't want to give anybody else's name, but she was a friend of mine and from a long time ago that I'd lost contact with, and she finally saw it in her spam, and that like activated it. And all these people kept coming and joining this. Yeah, we've got to unearth this time capsule. So anyway, so I decided, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I got to go down there. So I went down there because I tried calling places, and yeah, you don't get anywhere on the phone. You have to go and talk to people and see them. So I went there, and the old school that I went to, the old public school that I went to, they had actually closed it down and turned it into an adult learning center, which is such a waste because this school was so amazing. It was built in, well, I guess because it was old, it was built in like the 1950s, I think, and it had like a great big wood shop, a metal shop, this all in an elementary school. Like it had a kitchen, it had an art studio, it had all this stuff. Anyway, so they closed it down, turned it into an adult learning center. Like 90% of this place is not used anymore. The old high school across the street, they switched that from a high school to the new elementary school. So that became the new school. So I went there knowing that, well, that's where the administration is. So I went there and I went to the office, and I ended up connecting with the principal, and God help me, I can't remember his name now. He was a really nice guy, and he was very helpful. And I explained to him, I said, there was a time capsule built, buried at the school. And he said, oh yeah, like it's actually in the ground outside my window. I said, no. It's not. It's not at this building. It's at that building over there, the Adult Learning Center. He said, the Adult Learning Center. And this is what blew my mind. They switched the schools. They shut down my school as I knew it. Maybe 20 years ago. Became an Adult Learning Center. The high school across the street shut down and they turned it into my new school. That history was lost on everybody at the school. Nobody knew that anymore. I'm like, how do you not know that? Like that was that school. It's okay to say, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't want to say where it was. I shouldn't give out too much personal information. I keep forgetting, like there could be psychos watching me. So, and I told him, I said, no. This was like 1983, 81, 82, 83. I don't remember what it was now. He's like, really? I said, really? So then, as this Facebook page started growing, because he's like, well, I'll look into it and see what I can find. And he didn't really find very much. Actually, I think it was just before summer started. So he said to me, he said, well, you work on it, see what you can find, and connect with me again in September. I'm like, okay, I can do that. So, and I did. Over the summer, someone contacted me through the Facebook page, and then she had met with Mr. Hulley a few years previously, and he was getting quite old. He was getting old. He was in his mid-70s. He's not real old, but he was in his mid-70s, and he had retired at that point. I think at some point he actually ended up working for the Board of Education, and he had retired, and he had given her a copy of the map that he had made by hand of where this time capsule was. So she had this, and then she scanned it and she sent it to me. I was like, oh my God, I finally have, and I have evidence that this capsule was put in there because nobody knew anything about it. So September came, I contacted that principal again. I said to him, I've got the map. He's like, really? I said, really? So I emailed it to him. So it was like, he was excited about this. He was like the next day, I think, or he had nothing to do. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of both. I can't believe that. They're very busy. So anyways, the next day, he had gone across the street to that old school that he didn't realize used to be the elementary school that he was at now. And he counted off, or he measured it out, what Mr. Hulley had measured, and he said, you know what? There's a divot in the grass. There's a divot in the grass there. It's got to be the spot. Like the earth had sunk just a little bit in that spot in the grass. And the reason that Mr. Hulley had put the time capsule in for us was our yard had no grass. There was no grass. It was just asphalt everywhere. So he had done something magically, got money or whatever, to get grass in. So he ended up turning at least half of what we had into grass, into field. So you could run around and roll around and not, crack your head on the cement. So that's what we did. We put this time capsule in to commemorate the grass that he got us. So, long story short, it's probably too late. This is not even a reading. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I don't know. But maybe this is inspiring someone. I know I want to do a time capsule at my son's school, and I already spoke to the principal about it last year. I'm like, 2020, that is a year to do a time capsule. Maybe that's what this message is for. 2020 is coming. What an awesome way to commemorate such a sci-fi date, right? 2020. So this is my time capsule story and my amazing story about Mr. Hulley. So, yeah, so the principal, long story short, we found out through other people that had contacted Mr. Hulley when he was alive, that he had tried profusely to be able to dig up this time capsule, but he just couldn't get the money because they had to send in a big diggy thing. Those things are called, like a big machinery to dig it out. It was just like, there was constant roadblocks, and it was crazy because he figured, even it being at the board, at least he would maybe have some sort of say, but he couldn't get it done. He couldn't get it done. And I guess because the time capsule got put in the ground at a time when all that machinery was already there to do what was paid for to do. So I talked to this new principal again about this. He had the map, and he said, well, let me see what I can do. And he was sort of running into roadblocks too. He was like, yeah, nobody wants to spend any money on doing this. And then the miracle happened. And then the miracle happened, and this was the miracle. So he contacted me a couple weeks later, and he said, do you want to unearth this time capsule on October the 23rd, 2014? 2014? 13. 14, something like that. I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, let's just do it. But it was only like a month away. And it was, so we just let everyone know on the Facebook page they're unearthing it. But you know what happened? So there was this old play structure on the other side of the school that they just decided, I think for insurance reasons, we really need to get this out of here. Like, it was there since the 1950s. It was pretty archaic. So the equipment was coming in to remove that. And so the principal told me, he said, we're going to send that equipment over to the time capsule spot and dig it up. I was like, oh my God. Okay, so this is where the synchronicity comes in. And this is where I really feel like one of the first times I was really contacted somehow by like a spirit. And I really think it was Mr. Hulley's spirit. Spurred me on to do this. So I think at that point was when we had found out that he had passed away. And we had just missed him. Like, it had just been a year since he passed away. So we went and we unearthed the time capsule. It was kind of exciting. It was actually really exciting. And it was a very spiritual moment because, now remember, there was we had no control over the dates this time capsule was coming up. And the date the time capsule came up ended up being, so, it was like 30 or 33 years exactly to the day that Mr. Hulley had put it in the ground with us. Exactly. I can't remember if it was 30 or 33 years. Like, I'd have to look at the dates. It was 81 or 83 or something like that we buried it. And it was that day in time that we had buried it with him. Exactly 30 years. Let's just call it 30 years to the day. And that's not the craziest thing about that. So it was the 1-year anniversary of his death on that day as well. And someone had been able to contact his wife and his daughter. And they were overwhelmed. They were overwhelmed by the concept that this time capsule was coming out because it was something he'd always talked to them about. And I guess, you know, had been disappointed that he'd never been able to bring it up again with us. So it was so incredible because they actually had said that they didn't know how they were going to spend that day, that 1-year anniversary of his death, because it was painful for them. It was so painful for them. He'd been diagnosed with cancer and just decided he didn't want to do treatments. He just wanted to, you know, live as best as he could with as much time that he had. And yeah, so it turned out to be a very special day for his family because I'm getting emotional. They were able to, you know, to remember this person who was amazing. And they were able to complete something for him or be there for that completion that he had not been able to complete in his lifetime. So it was like a really good closure for them. And it was a really good closure for everybody because we finally unearthed the time capsule. That was really emotional. Like I feel like it just kind of connected with his family on that, and I could feel it at the time. I actually never spoke to his wife or his daughter that day. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to get, I mean, they were there and they were overwhelmed by the people around them. But he was absolutely amazing. And I really, to this day, feel like, I don't know, maybe I was just the one person that sort of had some kind of connection, and he was able to tap me on the shoulder and say, you really need to do this. And I often felt like, too, because of the synchronicities that happened around it. For one, there was a principal at the school that was really eager about this. He wanted to do it. And I know he had a lot of other stuff on his plate. He wanted to do it. The synchronicities of actually, he had given that map to someone before he passed away. It didn't get lost, so someone else had it. And she got in touch with me, gave me the map. So now we knew where it was, that we could get to it. All of a sudden, after 60 years, they're going to remove that old play structure, and the equipment's going to be there to lift it up. And it's going to happen on the day that is like the 30th anniversary of us putting the time capsule in the ground. And it is exactly to that day, and exactly 1 year to that day that he passed away. Like, I really feel like he actually had more power at that point to get this done in the spirit realm than he did in the human realm. And I have no idea why I shared that story with you. And I just hope, I hope it inspires you to realize the effect that you can have on everyone around you. One person, like one man in that school, I mean, he changed me. He changed how everyone saw me, which was amazing. I won't get into that story. But he affected so many people's lives. And you can too. We all can. I don't know why. This feels really trivial now, pulling out these cards. And nothing's coming out. I feel like that's it. That's your reading. I'm sorry. If you wanted more, that's it. Nothing's coming out. Well, let me just shuffle. When I saw this, it was like, childhood experience, keep speaking. So I did. I don't know who needed to hear that. I'm sure I probably lost half my audience in this video at this point. But yeah, you know what? When there's so many incredible people out there, just like Mr. Hulley, and their stories. It would be great if they could all be told. The things that he did for those kids at that school. A high priestess energy. Wow, and it's just kind of telling me, I really feel like this is the message for you guys. So esoteric and so just random, that you really can. Like, look at this person. This person works with spirit. You guys can do this. You can absolutely do this. Even what I'm doing, just do it. You can do it. You have this connection. You are this person. I feel like too, like Mr. Hulley was this person. He was working magic all the time. And even when he was gone, he was still working that magic through me. And through all those other synchronicities that had to happen for that time capsule to come out of the ground after 30 years and being forgotten for 15. And look at the little child there. Isn't that it? That's what it's all about. That's my message for you right now. It's if you can affect one child's life in a positive way, you have no idea the snowball effect. Well, look at me. I spend all my free time going to the school so that I can do what Mr. Hulley did. Or try. I'm not even close to what he was able to do. But yeah, you are incredible. You can really change the world one kid at a time. One kid at a time. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say. I did not see that reading coming at all. I don't know. I even feel like maybe Mr. Hulley was there telling me to tell the story. Thanks, bud. But that's it. Okay. Have a good week. I'm on vacation. It doesn't feel like it right now. That was pretty deep. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week when I'm back. Bye.